Time for another edition of Out and About with Jamie Grout. This time around, we're going to be having a conversation with KayLea Marchant, who is the new executive director of the Newton Chamber of Commerce. We'll be discussing the benefits of belonging to the Chamber of Commerce and why she thinks folks ought to be moving to good old Newton, Iowa 50208. But first, a word from our sponsors. Clement Mackey Insurance on First Avenue, Newton. They are your independent insurance agent, which means they're associated with several different insurance companies to find you the lowest possible rate. Clement Mackey Insurance, where your insurance policy comes with an agent. Give them a call at 641-792-5040. Ryan's Tire and Auto on First Avenue in Newton. I'm going to be having Ryan give us some car maintenance tips next week when I do a podcast. So head on over to see Ryan's on First Avenue. Fellow Newton High graduate Terry Thorson says Ryan and his team are the very best. Quality work and customer service second to none. Give them a call at 641-841-2134. I want to thank Lynn Donahue and the crew at Jersey Freeze on Highway 14 in Newton. You know, it's easier to get to Jersey Freeze in Monroe now from Newton. Just drive down the Reasoner Road till you get to the Prison Road. You take a right, a Ralph. There at the Prison Road, go down to Highway 14. That'll take you into Monroe. They're still working on Highway 14, I guess, from Newton to the what they would call the Prison Road. So head on over to Jersey Freeze and tell them Jamie sent you. Jersey Freeze, Highway 14, just south of Monroe. On Highway 14, malt shakes, sundaes, banana splits. Pick from several different chopped up candies to be blended in with Jersey Freeze ice cream. Use their drive-up window or walk-up window. And Pizza Ranch on I-80 and Highway 14 in Newton. Mondays, they have half-price games. Tuesdays, Kids Night, free kids buffet with the purchase of one adult buffet. Wednesdays are double points. And check them out on Facebook, both Jersey Freeze and Pizza Ranch, supplying us with prizes. If you like, follow, and share the Out and About with Jamie Grout Facebook page, you are eligible to win the weekly prize of a $20 certificate to Jersey Freeze in Monroe and a $20 gift certificate to the Fun Kids Zone at Pizza Ranch in Newton. Now on with our conversation. My co-host today is KayLea Marchant, who is the executive director of the Newton Chamber of Commerce. KayLea, this is kind of a new role for you here at the Chamber of Commerce, isn't it?
It is, yes.
How long have you been the chamber director?
Since the middle of May.
Okay. And why did you want this position anyway?
Actually, I found a love for the city of Newton and the businesses itself through my position at Iowa Speedway when I first moved to Newton. It's not something that I knew graduating from high school or even from college that this is where I would land. But through that position there, I became much more involved with the community itself. And I just found a passion for it. So it's kind of like a little dream job.
So you fell in love with the community. What was it about Newton that you really loved?
I had started racing go-karts here when I was like 5.
Oh, so were you born and raised here?
I was not. I'm actually from just south of Rochester, Minnesota originally, and started racing go-karts down here. My cousin as well. And shortly after us, my brother. So we were down here a lot. We were down here often. It became kind of a place of safety, if you will. And then Knoxville Nationals were always our family vacation, still a vacation for us today. And, when I moved down to go to college, sometimes I would bring my laundry over here and do laundry in Newton or even Knoxville, just like that little sense of safety that came with it. And, of course, moving here then with the track, it's like home. It felt like home kind of right away. I always used to make fun of my mom when we go to the grocery store because she'd always find somebody she knew and it would take forever. And
it gets to be a social thing.
Yeah, yeah. I'm that person now. I'm my mom.
Oh, are you really?
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's
so
good.
You go to the grocery store and you never know who you're going to see. And
sure.
It's always not a quick trip because then there you are talking. So I started making friends and becoming a part of the community, as I said, through that position and dealing with Main Street, and became involved on that board. And now met my husband and there was just no leaving after that. You just don't. It's home,
Yeah.
and I'm proud of what Newton has done. Obviously, there's been some changes, and that all kind of took place while I was going to college in Des Moines. And so I got to come kind of on the heels of that, and I've gotten to see them lift up their bootstraps, if you will. So
sure.
I'm excited for Newton, and I am proud of Newton.
Yeah. I have said, and maybe you feel the same way, the Newton's kind of in its renaissance period.
Yeah.
When I was born and raised here, graduated from high school way back in 1977. But I came here to the radio station about 16 years ago, right after Maytag had closed down.
Okay.
And a lot of people were doom and gloom, and it was just not a good thing. But Newton has pulled itself up by its bootstraps, hasn't it?
Yes. It's been fun to see.
That's great. What did you do at the Speedway?
A little bit of everything. I started as an intern. And then for that next season, I helped with sales and marketing, and was there long enough to see myself go to assistant in operations and head of credentials, and also helped with some accounts payable. And I learned the ticketing system. And when I left, when things changed there, even I was kind of in the sales side of things again, with the larger sales and more of a community facing position is what that was turning out to. So
I see. Okay. So you're the director of the chamber. Why should somebody join the chamber if they're not already a member? What are the benefits? You get asked that all the time.
Yeah. I had a presentation with Kiwanis yesterday and had the same question. And, there are a lot of benefits for a business. The chamber can work for you if you want it to work. So if you don't ask the questions, if you don't show up, if you aren't participating, then maybe it's not going to work the same for you as it would for somebody else. So there's networking involved. Super excited to get that going for 2025. Our membership, when you join with us, gets you a dual membership to the Greater Des Moines Chamber, or Greater Des Moines Partnership, I apologize. And we're one of 23 other communities that's part of that partnership. So it's not just Newton, it's not just the partnership. Your information's getting shared with 22 other communities as well. So that's big stuff. There's what we will call investment or sponsorship opportunities for community events. So you're not only networking with other businesses, but you're also getting your information out and networking with your own community and getting to know your community better, and making your community a better place to live, work, and play. So there's a lot that goes along with it. Okay. Aside from, other easy things like a notary.
So getting into more detail on that, what kind of events does the chamber host? What kind of things can people get involved with the chamber that would involve networking?
Okay, so this year has been kind of a transition year, of course, with me coming on board. Next year, our hope is to get ourselves to a point where we can every other month have a networking event or some kind of learning event, whether that's leadership or learning more about yourself personally. However that looks is what our goal is. Things like a breakfast, a dinner, even after hours, events that maybe are just mingling, or whatever you kind of want it to look like, an open house maybe. However, and we'll ask for our members to host those. So hoping for 6 of those, and 6 of the learning ones as well. As far as our events go, we have came in right in time for 4th of July. So the parade itself, and then we just hosted our new teacher appreciation luncheon.
Sure, that's a thing that's been going on for a number of years.
And it was really fun to be a part of that this year. We changed it up a little bit. For our members and our businesses to kind of get to know them a little bit more. We instead of having kind of like a speech or a welcome and being talked to, we changed it where they had their own table that would allow them to tell their own story one-on-one to whoever was coming to visit them. And we had a lot of really good feedback on that. So I'm really excited for that. Our next that we host is going to be the Courthouse Lighting Festival, and excited to bring the parade back for that one this year. So some information about that will be going out pretty soon. We have the annual dinner, and we have I know I'm going to miss something. We have our golf outing, our ambassador golf outing. And we're working to kind of build those programs. So building on the ambassador program with some wonderful ambassadors right now, but growing that program and maybe getting back to having some junior ambassadors and bringing back our Young Professionals of Jasper County program as well. So all big things. But yeah, lots of things on our plate that you can be involved in. We'll call them a la carte, if you will. Sponsorship opportunities for those, but we're also collaborating with Newton Main Street and a lot of their activities in the downtown area. We'll have RVTV coming up September 6th, and then our downtown retailers, they will start their busy season, and it will be open houses and some great activities downtown September through the courthouse lighting, really, before we start over for the year. So,
and you touched on the ambassadors and kind of what some of your goals are for that. For those who don't know, what are the ambassadors? What's that program all about, Kay?
So our ambassadors are members of businesses who are currently chamber members, and they are volunteers. I would call them like superhero volunteers, if you will, extra arms and legs. So out in the community, it's a big community, and I feel like I know quite a few people, but I can't always shake hands and meet and thank all of the people that I really need to. And so those volunteers are arms and legs. So when they're out and about, they're meeting new people, they're introducing themselves, and they're talking, even for the chamber. You should get to know the chamber, or, this is what we could do for you, that kind of thing. And thanking, and just really kind of being a model citizen, if you will, for the city of Newton and the chamber itself. So I like to call them my superhero volunteers. I think that's a good way to throw that out there. But I'd love to build on that program. Like I said, we have some wonderful ambassadors, but I think that we have room for more, and getting some junior ambassadors involved. I'm excited for that too, with the school system, and kind of showing them why a chamber is important and why your businesses are important, and how that all comes together to make the community that we know and love. And as you know, Young Professionals is right on the heels for both of those things. So good stuff.
Fantastic. I like to talk about food. Obviously, I like food. And so the ambassadors, don't you guys usually have lunch or something like that also?
We do. So that's the ambassador program itself is a monthly meeting. So we do get together and we have that meeting, and it's typically at a luncheon where we'll talk about new things happening in the chamber, new things happening in the city. If you've been out and about and you've shaken hands with the new business owner and somebody who's coming in to town, or even talking about it, or even maybe somebody who's finding a way to succession out of their business, we can help with that too. So we kind of have that conversation, have that little meeting, and then we will also go and visit a business. Sometimes it's a member already, somebody who's in town, but maybe we don't necessarily know all the things, or there's some, behind the scenes things that we get to see. And sometimes it's a new person coming to town and finding out kind of who they are and what they can offer for the city. Our last one was Walmart. So we got invited to see the before of all of the changes and learn more about their program and how they help the community. And then we will get to go out now after the remodel and get to see all of those changes and how they took place at that.
So while we were setting up here, Erin Yeager, the director of Newton Main Street, came in, and apparently she has an office here too.
She doesn't have an office, no, but we have some stuff we're working on together. So.
Well, that I'm sorry to say that I thought she had an office here, but that does lead me into my next question. How does the Chamber and Newton Main Street work together?
I think that originally, and Erin can touch base on this at some point too, but originally, not Newton Main Street, but Main Street, the program itself, was kind of born out of being an arm of the Chamber. So a lot of what we do, hers has to do within a district, and mine, the greater Newton area, but it overlaps. And so we work pretty closely together on those things. Like I said, hers is district, so a lot of their downtown retailers in the space, down here in the downtown area. But it is our job to make sure that you guys have the things that you need to succeed.
For those listening outside of Newton, maybe thinking about the possibility of moving to Newton, I know, having grown up here, about the benefits of living in this wonderful city. But as Chamber Director, what would you say to somebody to try to convince them to move to good old Newton, Iowa, USA 50208?
I would say we're kind of the heart of Iowa, if you will. We're in the heart. We're right off the interstate. It doesn't take very long to get to anywhere in Iowa from Newton. We're close to all of those things extra that you might want. But when it comes to inside the city, we've got a small town feel with big town amenities. We have our own emergency room and hospital, and they have some wonderful services over there that you don't have to leave town for. They have a wonderful library here. We've got pickleball. We've got all kinds of parks and trails, and we've got a great school system. You can be in all the sports and do all of the things, and you can excel at each of them. You don't have to pick one. We have just amazing opportunities that are popping up daily. Wonderful restaurants, things to do, beautiful spots to hang out, dog parks to play at. Mm-hmm. You never know. But we've got all the things that you would need right here.
Mm-hmm. And I know you're working on your social media. Tell us about that.
Yes. So due to some connection issues, in order to do all of the things that we would need to do, social media wise, we have gone ahead and created a new Facebook page. It is the Greater Newton Area Chamber of Commerce. And we'll be putting some messaging out about that here pretty soon. And hopefully finding a way to give our website a facelift also. And just really finding a way to make our information more digestible for everybody and easier to find.
So tell us about your different levels of membership. You're talking earlier about kind of getting your feet wet in terms of new memberships, which is what I'm involved in now.
Yes.
So I'd like to know about that.
First, welcome on board and thank you.
You're welcome.
So I am pretty excited about the way our memberships are laid out. The investments themselves are low to high. The higher you get, the more benefits there are. But really, when I came on board and we started talking about things, and I was doing all my research and just things to make things going and get creative on those, I felt like it was important for us to have like a beginner's membership. And we had something similar. It was kind of toward the bottom of all of our marketing that we had, and not really, I didn't even know it was out there, but essentially it was, if you kind of believed in the mission and the vision, you could pay $100 and be involved. There really wasn't a lot with it. However, we've kind of changed that up, and we've changed it to include our in-home business. or single employee businesses for our entrepreneurs and those who are working hard to make things work on their own, for our churches, our social clubs, even some other nonprofits, restaurants. People want to be involved, but they don't always have the time in restaurants. When we're going to have our networking or other events, a lot of the times that's their busy time. So they can't always have somebody that they can send here, but we really do want them to be involved. So there is the beginner's membership. It's $100 annually. That membership is a dual membership, even with the Greater Des Moines Partnership. We are one of 23 communities that make up the partnership. And that means for you guys, you aren't just getting shared with Newton itself. You're getting wider than that. 22 other communities to be exact.
So how is that a benefit to members?
How is that a benefit? That's it's a great question, because I was learning more about it on my own, but really the same things that we can offer you here with networking, with business referrals, with just getting your name out in general, the Des Moines Partnership can do for you. And it's not just going to Newton. It's going to those 22 other communities. It's going to the Des Moines area. It's happening on a larger basis. Some of the other benefits that they have are larger opportunities as far as learning. So, they have some entrepreneur field days coming up. And those are going to take you to some larger entrepreneurial businesses who have expanded themselves, how they did it, what their fails were, and where they're at now. And other opportunities, as far as, I'm just trying to think of one that they just told me the other day, but just leadership and different things in a more vast population, I guess. What we would have for information is going to be particular to Newton in the greater area. What they have is how you can expand into a network like Des Moines. I think that they would be first to tell you when they themselves are looking for things, whether it be maybe vinyl or that they need to order maybe promotional items. They are going to their members first. And if they literally cannot find it, then they will reach out, but they've really never had a problem with that. So it's a benefit to you in that it's reaching that big Des Moines area, those 22 other communities. And really, the dual membership itself is it's huge. But it's helping you to get your foot wet with our beginning membership itself. Here, it's getting you business referrals. It's getting you into our networking opportunities. It's getting you a welcome in the newsletter. It's getting you newsletter access. It's getting you a welcome out on Facebook, and just making sure that everybody knows you are now a member of the chamber. It's helping you to get involved with the community itself and getting to know them too. So important for the city itself.
If people want to contact you, how can they do that?
They can contact us at director@newtoniachamber.com. They can find us on Facebook, the Greater Newton Area Chamber of Commerce. And we also have our website as well, experiencenewton.com.
All right. Thanks for talking with us today.
Thank you.
Until next time, Grout is out. See ya.